Hey, I hope you guys are having a blast today. My name is Jamie. I'm going to show you a quick, really easy, straightforward oyster pan roast. So the first thing that you're going to need over here, we have some shucked oysters, which I'm sure Ming already showed you how to shuck those. And we've got a pot and we've got some ingredients. So just focus on here. We're going to throw a little bit of butter into the pan. I like to have my pan heated up a little bit so the butter starts to melt pretty immediately. As the butter's melting, we're going to add in some rough chopped shallots. Just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And we're going to let that cook just until the shallots start to soften. And you can do that over medium to high heat. It's best to do this into a deeper bowl so you can stir it around. And something that's heavy bottom, like this enamel cast iron pan. If you don't, you can just use a sauce pot or even a saute pan. So now we can see that the shallots have started to get softer. They're starting to get a little bit of color, which is fantastic. We're going to add a little bit of gochujang. I like gochujang because it's got a fermented flavor to it. It's spicy, it's sour. It's really, really fantastic. If you don't have gochujang, you can use ketchup and chili sauce or just buy straight up chili sauce, which is a little bit more traditional, but I find this one to be a lot more interesting. So now we're going to kind of stir it around so the gochujang starts to just pinch or brown just a little bit. And then we're going to deglaze it with our oysters. So here I have about 6 oysters. We add that, we're just going to stir it around and keep it on pretty high heat. As it's coming up to a simmer, we're going to add just a little bit of half and half. And we're using half and half because it's a little bit more stable for the pan roast. If you use milk or cream, it has the risk of breaking. So I really like using half and half. We also have a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. We'll just put a couple drops in. And we'll taste it for consistency and seasoning. It's pretty good. I'm gonna add a splash more of the half and half. It was a little bit spicy, which I like. And you can see it starting to simmer. You don't need to stir it around. And once it comes to a really good boil, we're going to hit it with lemon juice, a little bit of fresh herb, and butter. And then it's done. So you can see it's starting to simmer, and the oysters are starting to coagulate, firm up the proteins. And as soon as the oysters are completely firm and hot, it's good. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice now. You can see it's really, really nice and flavorful. Oh man. So the oysters are starting to firm up. We've got it on high. Now we're going to add our butter. And the butter is going to help thicken it and mellow out the acidity and the spiciness and just make it overall really delicious. And as that's melting, I'm going to throw in, for me today, I've got some shiso, also called perilla. We're going to put that in. If you don't have shiso or perilla, you can use parsley, you can use scallions, any sort of soft herb, tarragon, chervil. Stay away from thyme, rosemary, sage. I think those flavors would be a little bit weird in this. Some people like mint. That would work too. Not my favorite, but it would work. You'll let that come to a simmer. And then we have some beautifully toasted bread. I like mine to have a little bit in the bottom to get soggy, and then we'll put a little bit on top. And the one when it's on the bottom, it gets a little bit soggy. It just has such a great flavor. All right, we can see it's boiling. The oysters are nice and plump, but not overcooked. We'll turn the heat off. And I'll try to put the oysters on top of the bread. This smells fantastic. And we'll just ladle the sauce over it. And if you have extra sauce, you don't need to put it in the bowl to make it messy, but save it because you're definitely going to want to dip your bread into it. I'm going to put another piece of bread next to it. And I have some pickled peppers that I sliced up to garnish on top. Make it fancy. You can tear some more herbs and place that on top. And then last, I like to give it some fresh black pepper. And if you have it, you can buy fried garlic. The fried garlic is great. And there it is. Again, my name is Jimmy Bissonnette. Thank you for tuning in to the 20th Annual Wellfleet Oyster Fest. Oyster pan roast. Be there, be square. Peace.